welcome to Financial Intelligence. In this video, I'm going to share with you the best Bitcoin trading advice for 2021. My recommendation is that you should stay away from Bitcoin. It'll save you a ton of money and lots of headaches if you invest your hard-earned money somewhere safer. In the past few months, Bitcoin has gone up and down based on one person's tweets. An instrument that can be manipulated by one person is not an investment. When you buy Bitcoin, you expose yourself to these types of market volatility over which you have no control, particularly because government officials are too busy printing money and they have no time to investigate these types of market manipulations. Bitcoin is at a point where it can go anywhere and there is no telling what it is going to do next. Even those who claim that they know where Bitcoin is headed have no idea what they are talking about. That is because there are just too many moving parts that could influence Bitcoin prices, and there is no way for any person to predict accurately how things are going to play out. If you like the type of content that I provide on this channel, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like the video, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. A disclaimer before we get started. Note that I'm not a financial advisor. The content I share here is based on my research and is for educational purposes only. For professional advice, you should talk to your financial advisor. In the first part of this video, I'm going to summarize reasons why Bitcoin could go up, and then in the second part of the video, I'm going to talk about reasons why it could go down. In the third part of the video, I'm going to share with you what the most likely outcome is going to be in my opinion. Part 1. Reasons Bitcoin could go up. There are a couple of reasons why Bitcoin could still go up. The first reason is that a large number of people are rightfully concerned about the loose monetary policies adopted by the US government. Money printing has eroded the confidence in the US dollar. Among people who are looking for alternatives to the US dollar, some folks are strongly convinced that Bitcoin is the answer. They believe that Bitcoin is going to provide some hedge against inflation in the future, and they're going to be long-term holders of Bitcoin. These individuals are committed long-term Bitcoin holders, and they're going to buy more Bitcoin if the prices start getting lower. Therefore, they contribute to forces that could push the Bitcoin price higher. The second reason that Bitcoin could go up is that there are many speculators out there who are upset that they missed out on the opportunity to make a quick buck on the previous Bitcoin rally. These individuals are eagerly hoping and waiting for an opportunity to buy Bitcoin. Their aspiration is to enjoy similar gains in the future that the early Bitcoin investors experienced. If persuaded enough, this group of speculators could come in and provide support for the Bitcoin price and drive it higher. The third reason that Bitcoin could go up is that there is a large community of YouTubers and social media influencers who have built their social media audience and presence by advocating for Bitcoin in the past. These folks essentially have created their brands around enthusiasm for Bitcoin, and they're unlikely to change their position. They're going to keep encouraging people to buy Bitcoin no matter what. This is what their core audience wants to hear, and they are committed to echo to their base what they want to hear. Part 2. Reasons Bitcoin could go down. There are also forces that are operating in the opposite direction that could send Bitcoin prices lower. The first one is the fact that many governments have started to crack down on cryptocurrencies. The official rationale offered to the public is that governments need to have more visibility over how Bitcoin transactions are performed. That is because they believe that cryptocurrencies provide a platform for conducting fraudulent transactions. I think that the real reason that governments do not like cryptocurrencies has to do with them losing power over controlling money supplies. I have shared my thoughts on this topic in another video that I will link up here. Increased regulatory pressure by governments could drive Bitcoin prices lower in the future. The second reason why Bitcoin could go lower is that there are a lot of speculators who have used leverage in order to build their Bitcoin positions in the past. In other words, these individuals have borrowed money in their brokerage accounts to buy more Bitcoin. Brokerage firms allow these accounts to use their borrowed money as long as the value of the accounts remain high. If Bitcoin prices start to drop, many of these leveraged accounts are going to be liquidated by forced involuntarily sale of the Bitcoin positions. Therefore, sudden Bitcoin price drops could create a snowball effect which would cause even more downward pressure by forcing more and more of these susceptible leveraged accounts into liquidation. The third reason that I think Bitcoin prices could go down is because there are many people who purchase Bitcoin at extremely high prices just before the recent drop in Bitcoin. Many of these folks are sitting on large losses and are in agony. They're hoping and waiting for Bitcoin prices to go up so that they can get out at break-even prices. They're going to slow down any kind of upward momentum in Bitcoin. Furthermore, many speculators have purchased Bitcoin hoping to make some quick gains. However, because the prices have not moved up the way they had hoped for, they're anxious to disengage. If the current situation drags on for a while, many speculators are going to give up and start exiting their Bitcoin positions. Part 3. Bitcoin is likely to stay stagnant. I think that going forward, these opposing forces are going to balance each other out, and Bitcoin is more likely to remain in a trading range. In other words, unless something dramatically changes about the current situation, we are unlikely to see a large move either to the upside or to the downside. This is one of the reasons that you should not get involved with Bitcoin. The future of Bitcoin is very much dependent on market manipulations by Bitcoin whales and decisions made by government officials. Bitcoin is not a healthy way of investing for your future. Bitcoin has been and is going to be volatile and very stressful to own. Long-term investors should stay away from volatile instruments like Bitcoin and focus their investments where they can earn small but steady gains over time. I hope that you liked this video. If you have any suggestions or recommendations, please add them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you and take care.